Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV, and this is the place to be on this Tuesday evening. And I am joined all the way from the US of A by my main man, Lucas. Tell me, Lucas, what is going on, mate, in the US of A?
Nothing much. Snow. It's cold. Um, Excited for a midweek fixture to get us through the week and on to
Mm,
Sunday. Hopefully, a nice 6-pointer to look ahead
mm,
to.
mm. What do you make of by before we get into the Norwich game? What did you make of Sunday's game with Leeds?
um, it really didn't look like we got out of first gear, in my opinion. We didn't really look to.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to say we didn't look up for it, but I don't know. Just any first gear West Ham performance. There's no cutting edge really.
Was we good, or was they just poor?
I thought Leeds was pretty horrible, to be fair,
Yeah.
and they had so many injuries, and their starting lineup. I mean, they. I think, to be honest, I think Leeds did as good as they could have done with the lineup they put out. If they had, I'm not gonna lie, I think if they had Bamford in there, they could have probably squeaked in a goal,
Mm, I
especially
agree.
towards the end.
Yeah, I do. I do agree on that. I think a better Leeds team gives us egg. I think the Leeds team that turned up, they're Greenwood up front, who weren't good enough,
If Daniel
really.
James wasn't so shit, they probably would have. They probably would have tied it at the end.
Yeah, I must admit you are right there, mate. I I just don't
I'm
understand it.
still waiting for a club to pay us £30 million for someone like that.
Do you know what I mean? I've got to admit, uh, they weren't very good. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about someone who. This is the reason why you are on, mate, and it's this man right here. Vlasic. Let's talk about him. I thought that was his best performance in a claret and blue shirt at West Ham this year. Would you agree?
It's if I had to nitpick, it probably does edge most of the other performances. I just
Mm,
feel like over the past 4 matches, it is gradually getting better. Not by
yeah.
like a not in not in my opinion by like a large margin. Like I don't
Mm,
think he had a blinder on Sunday, but he had a great game. I don't think in my opinion, I wouldn't say it was standout from any of his others, but he did. If I had to nitpick, I would say this is his best one.
mm. I've got to admit, listen, I thought he was decent on Sunday. Was Leeds poor? Yes. Was
Yeah,
he good? Yes. But you can only judge him on game by game ratio. You can't say that like, oh well, because Leeds are bad. He's turned up. He played pretty well. Right, and this is
you can only
the
play
re
what's in front of you.
exactly that. Now, when it comes to this week, this is where the big test is because he's going to be up against Norwich tomorrow night, and he's going to have Leeds in the league. Now, I don't believe Leeds will turn up on Sunday and be as bad as they was
I
last
agree.
Sunday. Do you know what I mean? I just can't see it. I see a team there who they can't play that bad again. And we, as you say, we didn't get out of second gear. Really, if I'm being truthfully honest, we looked pretty comfortable when we scored. Maybe towards the end,
We had a few good performances from individuals, but we did not look that great as
mm,
a team. Which, in all honesty, we're not used to that. So,
mm,
I mean, we'll take it.
yeah, exactly that, mate. But uh, like when I look at him on Sunday, I can't sit here and go, you know what, he was bad or he was okay. I thought he was very good. I thought he influenced the game on Sunday. But that's what I want to see him do tomorrow night against the Norwich team. I want him to be an influence from the start. Uh, and basically go from there, really. Do you know what I mean? I know people have
Yeah,
got their opinions on him. Do you know what I mean? But that's the first game. Someone said to me earlier, well, what about the Spurs game? He puts one good ball in, he gets subbed after 60 minutes, like against Spurs in the cup. Let's not
right.
forget that. Like at the weekend, he was decent. He was very, very good. But this is why his time is now. Basically, that's why it's the title of the thumbnail because the next three games we need him. right now. We don't need him 6 months down the road. We need him right now, performing at his highest ability. How do you see him progressing, Lucas? As a fellow Croat, how do you see him getting on, basically?
So from the moment he came in, I feel like because obviously when he first came in, everyone had their opinions and whatnot from different sides of things. The price point of which he was acquired, the player himself. I just don't think people are starting to warm up a little now because he's put in a few good matches of form, and I feel like people are starting to find maybe understand that the kind of player he is. Like when he came in, and granted, I understand when you pay, let's just call it 32 million pounds for a player. Not only do you expect him to have some sort of magic, but like you expect a player like him to kind of be able to take over a game by himself. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, that's not the type of player he is. Like he's very team oriented. He's going to put in a shift. He's going to do what the team needs.
Mm.
But I still think he has that sprinkle of magic, which we haven't really seen yet. But hopefully, against teams like Norwich, is when we're going to see that moment of magic.
Mm.
I
But
I don't.
do you feel though, Lucas, that against Norwich, Norwich and Leeds, the next two games will really show me what this bloke is all about? Like, because FA Cup, the Leeds team that they put out, I'm sorry, but that was a really, really bad mix and match team. I think
Yeah.
Norwich are going to sit deep. They're going to try and get us on the break. They're going to try and defend. The Leeds team on Sunday will be different. There's no two ways about it. I think they're going to have Roberts back. I think Bamford could even be back. Rafinha will play from the start. So it's going to be a different. Like the next two games for me, we'll see where Vlasic is. If he turns up tomorrow, assists a goal, scores a goal, or doesn't do any of that, and his influences in the final third, like he did for the first goal on Sunday, then I think that, he's turning a corner, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, with both these matches coming up, Nor is Norwich at home?
Correct.
Norwich at home, Leeds. Are we back at home for Leeds, or is that away?
Yeah, correct.
Leeds will put out a stronger lineup, of course. They're probably going to have Bamford back. Norwich. I mean, it's all really what you expect. So, like, looking at Norwich, we should definitely win that game, bare minimum 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, something
Mm.
around there. I don't think it's out of line to expect 2 goal contributions in 2 games from Vlasic because
No.
Norwich are quite shit and Leeds just I still don't think Leeds are shit, but obviously the way they play, they're just so vulnerable to a lot. And I don't think it's out of line to expect a goal assist or 2 goal contributions in 2 games. Do I think he will?
Mm.
Given the opportunity, yeah, I think so. I think I don't know about a goal because if you look at our squad this year, the goals are coming from everywhere. It really
Yeah.
depends on the for Norwich tomorrow. I think it will depend on Suchek. I've been hearing that he might have COVID. He might not play tomorrow. So Vlasic might have to really take the next step there because we're not going to have normal firepower that we have. I don't
Mm.
know if that's true. I just seen it on Twitter, and we all know. We all know Twitter, grain of salt. But I don't know. I think tomorrow we can expect a goal and an assist because I think Norwich they're shocking and they're trying their hardest, but the quality just is not there.
Don't
And
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Lucas. I'm not going to judge him on tomorrow's game. I'm not going to say, oh, he's not performing. But the next three games, while there's no Ben Rama in the ranks and there is no, if you're telling me Suchek's got COVID, which could possibly be true, he needs to step up because we need him. Like, and uh, I will know more in regards of Vlasic over the next sort of two games.
mhm.
Like, I think if he turns up tomorrow, performs, turns up Sunday, performs, then we can start saying, all right, it's okay saying that he's had a good performance against a Leeds side who are depleted
Yeah.
at best. Do you know what I mean? But let's
Mm-hmm.
see what he's like against in the next 3 games or the next 2 games, like against Premier League sides. Norwich are fighting for their lives. Leeds are also fighting for their lives. So it's going to be a different
Yeah.
test.
Tomorrow, I would like to see, like I said, I think all the Vlasic opinions and stuff early on were a little unjustified because I don't think a lot of people knew like the kind of player he
Mm,
was, and they were expecting a lot from the price tag. But I would say tomorrow, I would like to see, because it is Norwich, I would like to see Vlasic maybe try and I don't want to say be a ball hog, but like really try and create some magic because it's Norwich. You
mm,
know, there's a handful of teams in the league that like you can almost kind of brush off a player being a little selfish. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I feel like Norwich is one of those clubs. Like for example, Ryan Fredericks on Sunday, who I thought had a pretty solid game. Who, of course, that one time he could have laid it off to Bowen or Rice at the
Mm,
end. It was selfish, might be a little harsh, but it was by definition a little selfish, not laying it off.
mm,
That he did that. If he did that against Norwich, I wouldn't be that mad because it's Norwich. They're quite shit. I would like to see Vlasic and all of our other players be a lot more adventurous against
yeah.
a disappointing side like that.
Mm. Jazza says here, James, if he puts in the same performance next 2 games like he did versus Leeds on Sunday, but gets no goals or assists, would you be okay with that? I would be because he was an influence in the final third. And I could see it a mile off. When he got the ball, he was looking for passes, forward thinking, driving into the box. Listen, when people keep saying he has to score or he has to assist a goal to have a good performance, that's a lot of old bollocks in my eyes. It really is. Like, if he's making passes and he's like bringing other people into play and doing stuff and influencing in the final third, then he's playing decent, and he like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's doing something. Some games this year, I haven't seen him be doing that. Like against Leeds, he was doing it all the time. He proves it with the first goal.
Yeah.
He gets
And
the
I
ball, and he drives in there.
and I think some of it is justified because, like I said, so many players in our squad are turning up and scoring goals. We've got like almost 5 to 6 players that I
Mm,
think we've had like 8 or 9 players score this season. But you got Bowen, Benrahma, Antonio,
mm,
Suchek. That's 4 guys on the pitch that are scoring at a reasonable rate, where other clubs they only really have like 2 main guys, 3. So like it is easy sometimes for certain players to disappear. Like Bowen, for example, has gone ghost in a handful of games this season. But that's because is on the other side
other
putting it.
people have outshone him
Yeah,
in games. Yeah.
which is not a bad thing. Sometimes it's just how the game goes. That's how the game plan is rolled out.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Lucas, James and Lucas, do you think Fornells starts tomorrow or Vlasic? That's an interesting one. Fornells is back in the picture now. Do you go with Vlasic or do you go with Fornells? Personally, I'll go with Vlasic myself.
Yeah,
I think Vlasic.
I don't
I
think
think
you can drop Vlasic right now. And I've said this a lot of times too. I've always looked at Fornals as a player I like to start if the team needs to get stuck in, like against
mm,
Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea. But like
yeah.
when we need to put our foot on someone's neck, you got not necessarily Vlasic, but I would like to see start players like Vlasic who are more attacking and I think are better going forward.
Mm,
So I would think either way, in all honesty, if either or start, I wouldn't be upset because I love them both. Um,
mm,
I think because it's Norwich and we should be beating them bare minimum 2-0. Probably should be beating them 3-0. I would like to see Vlasic start because we need to put them to bed early.
I agree. I agree. We should be going there tomorrow and being on the front foot, but this is West Ham, mate, and we don't
Yeah.
make it easy against any team. Even if Norwich are playing that bad, West Ham still make it hard. Like
Yeah,
they
we
made it
need
hard.
5-0. We need 5-0.
Yeah, and even a 3-0 scoreline West Ham struggled with in the past. So, like, do you know what I mean? As long as it ain't 3-0 tomorrow,
I'll be
it'll end up
shitting
being
myself like everyone
be three
else.
two. Yeah. Jazza says, but surely bringing other people into play equals assists. Yeah, it does. But that killer ball. I'm saying, like, if he doesn't play the killer ball, but he's involved in the build-up play, that's good enough for me because he's an influence in the final third. Like, I don't want to see him not doing a lot. Do you know what I mean? Because he's got. Let's be honest. Lanzini scored some goals recently, but Lanzini's not a prolific goal scorer. Bowen has been performing, and Antonio's just started to get back on form to a point.
And he
So
loves playing
Vlasic,
Norwich.
and he does love playing Norwich. So yeah, listen. At the end of the day, Vlasic, his time is now, and that's what's in the thumbnail. Because this is his moment to shine. Now, if he comes out, starts playing amazing, I've got to come on here every single time I do a video and say, "Yeah, Vlasic has been amazing today."
And he's
Through
got to
grit
make
and
a
teeth.
he's got to make a case to keep Benny out the first team when he comes back.
Exactly that, mate. And listen, this ain't a Ben Rama agenda or Vlasic agenda like some people keep perceiving it. It's a West Ham agenda. At the end of the day, if Vlasic is performing for West Ham United Football Club, then that's good enough for me at the end of the day. It really is. Moving on. John says, I'll definitely start Vlasic. Keep the good form going. Do you rest Antonio and have Bowen up front and include Fornells from the start? The problem is, Pablo Fornells, he was everyone's favourite son, Lucas, and he's just not there now. He's sort of on the bench, and I never would have thought that 2 months ago.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I don't want to say the magic is worn off, but I don't know. Like I said, I've always looked at Fornals as a player I start in certain games that you need to get stuck in. And John's comment, I definitely don't think it would be a terrible idea to start Bowen up top because we all know the way every single Leeds game goes. I mean, Antonio's going to be running up and down the pitch all day long.
Mm.
But either way, the Norwich match, whoever we start, whoever we put out there, that should be a 60-minute job. Let's get 4-0 up, 3-0 up, whatever, and then get some other boys on.
Mm.
4-0s though, yeah, I can't really put my finger on it what it is. Maybe it could be the run of games that we have going, and maybe Moyes is saving them up for again a match like Leeds where he's going to need a player like Fornals who's going to be running up and down the pitch all match, putting a shift in. Maybe I don't know. We all know we cannot get inside Moyes' head. He is interesting.
The only decent thing about the whole situation is Leeds is on a Sunday. Like
Yeah.
if Leeds was on a Saturday at 3:00, then we might have a bit of an issue. But I think the boys can get round it. Listen, if West Ham are comfortable, right, then you can start subbing these players off like Bowen and Antonio and all that. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't know. We will get on to the preview shortly, but I don't know. I just know West Ham too well, mate. We just don't make things easy.
No.
We really don't. He says, assuming Vlasic keeps his place, if Souček has COVID, do you replace him with Fornells or Noble, Krell? And I don't know who Traore is. I didn't know we had a Traore in our ranks, but who do we replace him with? It's got to be Krell, isn't it?
You,
Or Noble.
I mean, you and me both have been on the Crowell train for quite some time now. I would love to see him play, but
Yeah.
you know, with the way Lanzini's been playing, I wouldn't mind seeing Rice Lanzini in a double pivot, but I need to see Crowell. I want to see him play, and
What has Krell got to do to play, Lucas?
I don't know. It's got to be. We've talked about this many times, especially with Ariel as well. It's got to be some sort of minutes or appearance things where, like, if they get enough, it triggers the buy clause. And I don't know what it is, but for Norwich, I mean, Crowell or Noble, personally, it wouldn't grind my gears if I saw either or, but I would like to see Crowell to keep trying to prove his worth. I mean, we can't even really say he's proved his worth yet because he's had no opportunity. But hopefully he gets a chance to prove his
I
worth
agree.
tomorrow if the COVID news is true.
I agree, mate. I agree. It's like, what else? I don't
Or
understand what
Coventry
crowd.
for goodness sake. I don't know. Just someone.
Well, I don't think Coventry could just come back in and go straight into the first team when he hasn't done anything at
Yeah.
Peterborough. Um, if he is out, I think it would be like a Lanzini Fornell situation. It wouldn't surprise me if both of them play. Lanzini will keep his place.
That would
Fornell's
actually be that'd be a pretty interesting lineup to see Vlasic, Fornals, Bowen, Antonio, Lanzini in the middle. That would be interesting because Fornals and
mm,
Lanzini could shift back and forth between each other, honestly,
mm.
from midfield to attacking midfield. That would be a nice dynamic to see if it would work. That could be another aspect to explore for later in the season if we need a new strategy.
It really, I agree, mate. I agree. Well, we will see. We will see about that. But moving on to tomorrow's game, all right? Obviously, you're saying about Suchek. You're saying about COVID. Um, people are saying about different situations. Oko Flex, Connor Coventry. What is your team tomorrow, Lucas, against Norwich? Right, Ariola will probably be dropped, and Fab will come back in.
Yeah, it's always my weird pet peeve whenever you go on Twitter and people are like, "This is my team to start tomorrow," and they put out a prediction team where it's like, Moyes isn't going to play that, that,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So whenever someone asks me my team, I always predict what I think Moyes is going to do. So
Mm.
we'll see Fabianski. Um, is Sufal healthy?
Yeah, he did have COVID. Whether or not he's back or not is another thing.
Um, if Sufal's healthy, we'll see him. Sufal, Diop, Dawson, Johnson, hopefully at left back. Um,
Mm.
if Suchek is not playing, I think it will be. If I had to put my gut on it, I would say Rice and Noble, and then I would go Vlasic, Lanzini, Bowen, Antonio.
Yeah, I agree. I really do. I agree with you on that. I think Noble had a good game. I think we've got to appreciate Noble because these sort of games that he's coming in for, we should cherish the moment.
Yeah,
When he came in against Watford, he played pretty decent. He's up against Norwich.
man of the
Do we?
match, arguably.
I thought he was phenomenally good against Watford. I really did. Steve says here, yeah, Ashby played for the under-23s last night, so I assume Kufel maybe come back in
That's
tomorrow
true.
as they were both missing with COVID recently. Um, I agree. But Jules says Cresswell could be back tomorrow. If Cresswell's back, then that's great news.
If
Obviously,
Cresswell's backed by United, I will be very, very happy. If him
yeah.
and Zuma are backed by the United match, I'd be to the moon.
Mm. I think it's very, very important that we bring them back at the right times, though. Don't rush these people back. I think Cresswell got
Yeah,
injured, end of November, I think it was, right, against Manchester City, right, beginning of December. He's been out for a good while.
yeah.
Um, and obviously, I've heard today about Zuma. I put a video up earlier, so check that out on the channel. Um, with him coming back, it's good news, but it's just not rushing back. Um, but how do you sort of see this game going tomorrow with us? Because I'll be honest with you, these are the sort of games West Ham will turn up, think we're going to win, roll this team out, no problem, and end up having a nightmare.
I think I feel I feel the same way if we had. Well, I mean, so realistically, the only first team players that will not be playing tomorrow really is Ben Rama and maybe Suchek.
Mm,
So I think with Vlasic, Lanzini been starting a good amount of games now. I don't know if we'll see that old West Ham we're expecting because we do have a couple fringe guys who are getting a run of games, and I don't think they're going to take it for granted. So I expect tomorrow to see Vlasic put in a good shift because, like we've been talking about, he is on a mission to put Benrahma on the bench or Lanzini, whoever he's competing against. Lanzini, we don't know how long left he has of the form he's on, so he has something to prove.
Mm.
Antonio's got to keep a good run of form, and he loves Norwich, so there should be motivation there. And then we don't need to talk about Declan Rice. He's motivated every time he steps on the pitch. So
Yeah.
I would say if we possibly had been like our full first team that we started the year with, I could see what you're saying because we do tend to do that all the time where we walk in, think we're going to smash it 3-0 and we get our ass kicked. But I think because of the couple bench guys and fringe guys that we've seen have a run of games now, I think it's going to be a little motivation for them to put in a shift so they can keep their spot.
I agree. It is a big game tomorrow. But these next two games decide where we're at. If West Ham are going to compete for top four, we need to be sweeping these two teams aside in Norwich and Leeds.
7 points in 3 games. I think that should be
I
the
think I
aim.
agree with you there. I think anything less than that is not
And
acceptable.
I don't want to get ahead of myself with the United game, even though United really are shit. They do not look good, but I'm not going to try and look past them. 7 points should definitely be the goal.
100% agree, mate. 7 points, 3 new signings. Time we get to Kidderminster Harriets, and then our next game, the Prem, after the January window shut and everything's all done, is Watford at home. Now, that's what we should be aiming for. If we're going to compete, that's what we should be aiming for. Me tomorrow, I don't know why, but I've just got a funny feeling that they're going to give us a lot of ag. Not ag as in attacking wise, but defensively, I think they're going to sit there and what it is with West Ham, we do find it hard to break teams down. Like,
Yeah.
Norwich are a sort of team, they will sit there and they're going to try and play counter attack, like with Aaron's down on one side. And
one thing we can never do is, like you said, break another team down. And I hate when we have most of the possession. I hate it because we always muck it up every time. But the only thing that's keeping me a little confident, it's going to be just like the Watford game, in my opinion, except that we are going to have Declan Rice, and I don't think Declan Rice is going to allow. Even though we did smash Watford, I mean, obviously Watford scored first out the gate. I think with Rice in, he's gonna make sure like the little blips like that don't happen. So I am hopeful that it's gonna be a 3-0. And I think Rice is going to just make sure there's no blips that happen like that, which they shouldn't.
3-0, mate. I tell you what, we don't do 3-0s. We all should know that by now. We struggle with 3-0s. If we're going to do predictions, I might as well do mine now. Before we talk about transfers and things, I feel that this game is going to be hard for us. I don't know why. I just got a funny feeling about this game. This is the one. I think the Leeds game on Sunday is an easier game than this.
I agree.
I think Leeds are all 100 mile an hour, free flowing, just attack. No defence at all. Don't know how to defend. Norwich under Dean Smith, they're no mugs. Like, even though they've not been playing well, recent performances they have been picking up. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
they're still not far off from escaping.
Yeah, and they're only 3 points. They're 3 points from safety.
I mean, all they need is 3 or 4 more wins, and they could probably scrape by.
Yeah, and for me, I think we'll win this game. I think we'll win it 2-0. I think we'll do a similar job to what we've done against Leeds. I think we'll score. And then it'd be like sort of touch and go, and then we'll nick another one, and then that'd be it. 2-0 game over.
Hopefully not at the end.
Yeah, I just feel that it's gonna be sort of tough, like because we do find it hard to break teams down, whoever we're playing against. Do you know what I mean? But we will see. All the comments are coming through. Let's have a look. Epic. I don't think we'll sign anyone. Moyes is going to lie, and there is no one available. Well, might as well get into it now, Lucas, while you're here.
Undersell, over deliver. That's what I like to. That's the approach I like.
100%, mate.
So
Well,
I appreciate that.
We might as well talk about transfers. Are you surprised, Lucas, that we still haven't signed anyone yet, or even look like signing anyone?
Easy answer, no, because that's just what we do. That's our MO. We've been doing this for almost as long as dinosaurs have been around. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's obviously frustrating, but I'm not surprised. But I almost want to say I am surprised just because, I don't know, it's just a lack of urgency. And it's got to be because maybe the Zuma and Cresswell news has come back better than what we thought. Why they might not be moving as fast as we think they are. But to say I'm surprised, no, but it is irritating, of course.
I got to agree. It is, for me personally. I look at this and I think I'm seeing Coutinho go to Villa. I've seen Chris Wood tonight, £20 million bid.
Digne about to go to Aston Villa as well.
Digne going to Villa. I'm seeing things get done, and I'm still seeing us with not a lot. Like, I'm still seeing Yarmolenko still at this club, which I think's a crime against football.
Humanity.
Unless there's something major that they're lining up towards the end of the window, right? The only decent thing I can say about the whole situation is we've got 3 games, and then we've got no game until after the window shuts. That's the only decent.
The rumors have been getting quite irritating as well, honestly. Like, there's just certain players and certain things coming out that is just incredibly, incredibly disheartening, and you just don't know what the hell to think.
I agree, mate. When I look at it, I'm seeing things today about Lloyd Kelly. All right, great player. Looks very, very promising up in Bournemouth. He's their captain now. I'm seeing us get linked with other players, and tonight the rumour comes out that Lingard might be going to Spurs. Spurs are looking at Lingard. Now, I said it earlier and I say it again. If he goes to Spurs, I don't blame him. I blame the board. Simple as that. There's no two ways about it. If the board wanted Lingard, he would be here. Simple as that. Why is it taking so long? Right? What is Rob Newman doing? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I don't know what. I just don't even know. I don't even know where to point. I mean, you got to point at the board. They're the one holding the money. But then there's news that comes out today that Moyes basically says he has the money, and the board are going to back him. It's a big pointing match, finger pointing.
Let me ask you this, Lucas. Do you feel that Moyes is going for unrealistic targets? Really? Like, is he looking at it and going?
It all depends on what if like they're on the same. If them and the board are like seeing eye to eye, because you can't say like Moyes' targets are unrealistic when the board are telling him like, hey, we're gonna back you. Just tell us who you want. And then as soon as they shut the door on Moyes, they're like, we're not gonna give this guy what he wants. I think it's a two-faced process that's going on right now, where like Moyes could definitely have some unrealistic targets, but the board are not being like upfront with him about it being unrealistic. You know what I mean?
I just want to bring this comment out from Epic Hashtime. Right? He says it's been reported that many players have turned us down. Now, if that is the case and players turning us down, why are they?
Football has gone to shit.
It has. But if players are turning us down, why are they turning us down? That's the question, because we're fifth in the league.
3 best competitions in the world.
Yeah, we're in Europa League last 16. We've just got through the third round of the FA Cup. And we're a Premier League side. But it's true though, Lucas, isn't it? Like, why why would they want to? Why would they want to turn us down when we're in our best moment? Like, it just makes no sense.
Because unfortunately, probably like most athletes nowadays, really all they care about is money, and that could also, again, that could be another thing that's hindering Moyes signing any players. Like, for example, Digne apparently is about to make 165 grand at Villa, which if that's true and that's the case, I definitely don't blame us not going after him. That is a shit ton of money.
But if that is the case, right, and I've heard that and all, right, the same thing. If that is the case, why is there not an alternative solution? Like, why is there not someone else saying, right? I'm seeing us getting linked with a couple of Scottish lads. Geezer from Hibernian, another one from Bologna, who Scottish left back, Hickney, yeah. So why is it not? Why are we sort of relying on Dina, and then when it don't work, it's like, oh no, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? We ain't got that one.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It all, you like to think it's that easy where it's like, all right, this is in the dirt. But we're gonna get this guy. It sounds easy. It's got to be more complicated, I guess. But I'm trying to figure out why it's complicated. It shouldn't be that complicated.
Not really, because like when people say about January window, I keep hearing this and all, right? When people keep saying, "Oh, the January window, like it's hard to do business," Van Dijk was bought in the January window. Do you know what I mean? Suarez was bought in the January window. Like Torres, I think, was bought in the January window at one stage. Business can get done in the January window.
Money talks, and we've always been stingy. So that, again, that could be another reason why.
Let me ask you this, Lucas: do we sign anyone by Sunday?
Absolutely not.
No.
Unless Dawson or Diop somehow go down injured, they're probably not. And I mean, apparently Dawson's playing injured already, which, I mean, Jesus, what more could we go through right now?
Well, Joe, what the fear is with me? The fear is with me is if our two centre halves catch COVID, then we're knackered.
We're right, to play Elise and Baptiste.
Yeah, and what it is, he's forcing their hand there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing people in the like George says, saying, "Here, it's mad that we got Newman in and George Santos." This is George Santos, by the way, is the man who had a fight on the pitch at Sheffield United versus West Brom many years ago. If Google was it, the Battle of Bramall Lane, and you see George Santos. He's one of our scouts, I think now. George Santos, and it's the same old shite. It's Sully still pulling the strings. I do agree with George on this. I really, really do. I think Sully is pulling the strings, but Moyes, I think it is a bit of both, but I think it's more the board when it comes to the money.
You got to look at the people that got the money. Moyes does not hold the money. Newman does not hold the money. Santos doesn't hold the money. Moyes Jr. does not hold the money. At the end of the day, there's only one person that holds a checkbook, and that's Dithering Dave.
But let's be honest here, because West Ham Online has pulled something up there about Haller. Right, having a laugh. A year ago, we sold Haller. Sebastian Haller for £20 million to Ajax. And we was going to go out and get a striker. We was then told that we couldn't find the striker we was looking for, and we're going to wait till the summer. Then we was told that we can't find a striker in the summer, and now it's come to January and we still haven't got a striker at this club. What is going on, Lucas?
I don't know. I mean, for how long has it been now? A year?
It's been a bang on a year.
I mean, like throughout that time, they probably do have a list of strikers, but again, I just cannot put my finger on what the holdup is, especially when we have our own striker that comes out and says we need another striker. Like that,
it's embarrassing, though, isn't it, Lucas?
That's That when Antonio said that, that
Mm.
actually gave me a little bit of hope that we might get a striker in soon because that's almost like and I think we all appreciate that from Antonio because
Mm.
obviously the competitor in Antonio or just someone that likes to play football, I mean, you want to play the most amount of football as you can. I mean, it
Yeah,
just fills the soul, makes the soul happy. You want to play all the time. But Antonio knows like he cannot keep he cannot keep going the way he is. He's gonna end up nobody knows Antonio like himself. And
yeah, but
even
it's
he
embar-
knows he cannot keep going on this way because he's gonna get hurt.
yeah, but it's
And he
embarrassing though
wants
from our own striker, isn't it, though, Lucas? Our own striker saying, "Listen, I want another striker here." Right? It shouldn't come from him, should it? It should be coming
no.
from everyone
And like
else.
and like I said, that's why when he said that, it gave me unusual hope that we might get a striker in. Maybe the first of our signings might be a striker because it's absolutely odd for a comment
See,
like that to come from a striker. Like that's not a striker doesn't say that.
no, no, and not at all. Right? George brings up a valid point here. Yeah, he says Edward Armstrong, Daka, Huang, all come through Premier the Premier League clubs in the summer, and all affordable and could play in our team. The only one out of them four that he said that's been a disappointment is what's it called? Armstrong. Don't see
Yeah.
him really that much at Southampton, really. And when I look at Southampton, look at the striker that they've loaned from Chelsea. Is it Boja? Absolute teared it up tonight. Scored a goal.
Balkan lad.
Yeah,
Love me a
looks
Balkan.
exactly, mate. Like he's tearing it up. Edward, for me, we should have signed from Celtic. He was ideal for us. Don't know why we didn't. Daka is another one. I thought had a lot of potential, and Huang Hing Chang, I think his name is, was absolutely superb. Like he's injured now, but he's still a very very good player.
And we've said this before, and I've stamped my stance on this for a while. Like we are basically approaching the point where it's like I really don't care who it is. We just need a backup option because we cannot keep.
Let me ask you this, Lucas. Right? Do you get like? Because I am worried. I'll be honest. As a West Ham fan, I look at our team at present, and I see Declan Rice, Jared Bowen as our real two outstanding players right, at
Yeah.
present. Is it going to come to the summer where West Ham might get a bid of say 115 million for Declan Rice from Manchester United, which has been reported? Jared Bowen, Liverpool might put a bid in for 65 million for Bowen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have 180 million. And do you think they're going to just deplete this team and then start again with all that dough? Because I am worried. I'll be honest with you.
They're gonna deplete the team and they're gonna run away with the money. That's what's gonna happen. If we sold Rice and Bowen for 175 million pounds combined, we probably retain, if we're lucky, 50 million pounds of that, which is absolutely poor.
It's worrying, isn't it?
I mean, and it is when you think of a football when you think of a football club and the way it should be run, you like the football club should be run almost in a way where it's like your books are balanced. There's not a ton of debt. If you sell someone for 100 million pounds, realistically, you should be able to use like 60 to 70% of the sale towards another player, and then obviously the other percentage goes back into the club, pay the debts, maybe upgrade the facilities, yada yada yada. But not at West Ham. That's not the way it works. If we sell Rice for 115 million pounds, GSB are going to pocket 90 of it, maybe 100. I don't know. And they're going to scram, and then Kretinsky is going to be left with nothing.
What George is saying here, apparently TalkSport said earlier that Rice is valued at 200 million. Yeah, he might be valued, but I don't think anyone's prepared to pay 200 million out for Declan Rice. I really don't. I think so. I think you could probably the highest you might get out of deck is probably 1.5 at 150. I don't see a team coming in and paying 200 million. Like they can go and get Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham. There's other players out there that could go and get. They could go and get Phillips and Bellingham for the same money.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone's going to be prepared to take that chance. I think the maximum we're going to get out of deck, I think, is about 130. I reckon. I hope we get 150, but I think we're going to get about 130 out of him.
Yeah, I hope we get 200.
Yeah,
But as
but yeah,
long
again,
as GSB are in the picture, I fear for any sale
yeah,
of any player that's over the limit of £30 million.
because I just look at it like this, Lucas. Every single time, now you jump on Twitter, you jump on social media, you have a little flick through. I'm going through Twitter and I'm having a look and I'm seeing what people are saying. Every single bid that I'm seeing of people who are saying like rumours and things like that, it is all loans. Loan.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that says loan first to the end of the season, right? And they're not prepared to sort of go and pay the money for a player outright right now or over 18 months or 3-year period, which is shocking, really.
And people wonder why it takes us till the last hour of deadline day to make any signings, because every single window I just don't get the stinginess. Like, we're West Ham United, we don't have to be stingy, especially in the state that we're in right now. And I just do not think. It's clear we stink at negotiating. We suck at it, and half of the strategy of negotiating is just putting the right step first. Like they need to try. They need to try something else. It would do wonders in a negotiation if you maybe for once came out and wanted to put down a permanent bid instead of the first thing I'm going to do is like, hey, can we loan this guy in and maybe buy him?
Yeah,
like try something else.
Like Barbosa, for instance, they put an 18 month loan bid in, and then they have the audacity to turn around and say about his attitude, Lucas. And I'm like, you must have known what his attitude was like before you put the bid in. Do you know what I mean?
And it's just, who the hell does an 18-month loan nowadays? Like, we're just redefining loan deals at this point.
Yeah, but what it is, it's like they put a bid in, right? How can I put this? They put a bid in so they look like they're busy. That's what it seems like to me. Like, oh yeah, we put a bid in here, we put a bid in there, but they're actually doing nothing. Like, now I brought it up earlier on, Lucas, right? And for all the years I've watched West Ham, I've seen many deals come and go where they have just blagged it and blagged it and blagged it to a point and then done nothing. Yeah. There was Carlos Bacca back in the day. There was Maxi Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Milenkovic deal in the summer just gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
The Jesse Lingard situation, right, which has been going on for a whole year now, right? From the moment we signed him to the moment to this moment now, he should already be here. And then they'll go out and just go and get like a cheap and cheerful signing. Like they done it with Tarkowski, right? They put, I'm going to go and put a £40 million bid in. They say it live on national radio that, we're making inquiries and we're putting bids in, but nothing's never concrete with West Ham. It just seems like they do it for effect, right? So the fans are happy. It's madness.
And you've got to be a fool to be happy. Like, that's good enough. We put in a bid for him. We're trying. Like, no, like you said, just because you're busy doesn't mean shit. Like,
yeah,
you could look busy at work and you're getting absolutely nothing done.
Exactly that, mate.
I'm the king of that.
Yeah,
I know this game.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly that. Yeah, like you can look like you're trying from the out. Like people could look at it from the outside and go, "Cool, yeah, West Ham are trying," but West Ham should be doing a Everton or should be doing a Villa, and going out and going, right, we're in the top, like we're top 6 at present. We should be having these players in, like right now, going right. Let's get these in. and let's make sure.
The only thing I think we can all agree on with the January transfer window so far is that with our run of games and our schedule, it's not as bad as it could be. Like we talked about, we have Norwich, Leeds, United, and United takes what date is the United game?
22nd of January, mate.
And then our next match.
Basically, our next game it will be the cup because we have 2 weeks off. Then, or we have a good week and a half off, basically. Then we're back for the Kidderminster game, which I don't want to see any first teamers against Kidderminster. Like, everyone keeps telling me about the youth, so let's give it to the youth.
So hopefully, that's the only thing that's practically working in our favor is the schedule at hand, and we don't necessarily, bar injury, if we had to, we will survive January with the schedule at hand. The only tough match we have really is United, which we would like to see a new striker, center back, a left back for. But in dire straits, we could probably survive those 3 matches and then get the 3 players, hopefully, in the January transfer window at the end. But I'm tired of that approach.
Exactly, right? But if Kirk Zuma and Cresswell come back, say, for instance, we see Kirk Zuma and Cresswell back against Leeds, for instance, then their plans have to change. Like, I still think we need a left back at this club. I'll say that openly right now. I think Alpha Mazawaka is not good enough, and I've always said that. I think Ben does a good job on the left-hand side, but he's not a left back. That's the only thing I can say on that. So we need a left back at this club. There's no 2 ways about it. Look how bad. I ain't gonna say look how bad we've been, but look how much we've missed Cresswell. Right, we've missed a left-footed, left-sided player, and it's sort of made us go a bit all over the gaff, and we've sort of got round it, but we shouldn't have to.
And hopefully with Zuma and Cresswell coming back, if they're backed by United, hopefully that will maybe trigger David Moyes to purchase like a 30 million pound striker that we've been looking for, which would be nice, because if Zuma does come back, we won't necessarily really need another center back. It'd be nice, but that need has almost died down a little bit, and left back definitely moves up the priority list. But it's just it's frustrating. But like I said,
how many people do we sign, Lucas? How many people can you see us signing in this window?
With the Lingard situation going on, I'm just gonna throw him off the table. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Every day changes. You hear something new. So I'm gonna try my hardest to just ignore that for the rest of the window. So I'm throwing Lingard off the table. I do think we're gonna get a left back.
Right.
With the Zuma news, I would say a center back is less likely now, but I wouldn't be shocked if we made a move for one. And striker, we have to get a striker. If we don't get a striker, that is a new low for West Ham United transfer windows, and we've seen the lowest of the low.
If we can't find a striker on this planet, right, a decent one, right, or an half decent one, because anyone who keeps telling me, "Oh, Moyes can't find a striker he wants," well, he's got Poxy Yarmolenko sitting on the bench who does absolutely nothing and gets paid a living for it. For me, to sort of round it up for me.
So I'm gonna say we sign two players.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. There, I really do. I think it'd be 2. I think it'd be a defensive player and an attacking one. I think we need 3. If we're going to progress, we need 3 to strengthen it right up. Yeah, bare minimum, right? But I think 2 is like the absolute bottom line. I think they'll go to. I think if they only sign 1 player in this window, mate, I'll tell you what, I just cannot wait for GSP to go. I really can't, because it's either more. What I can't understand, Lucas, and I know I'm going a bit of a rant here, but I can't understand what Rob Newman has done. like, surely there must be people like who he's looking at. Surely all the people he's looking at can't be for the summer. Surely,
Maybe he's starting to feel the GSP effect like Moyes is, where it's like
maybe.
how the hell are you how the hell are you working with these people?
Hmm.
How have you survived this long working with these Muppets?
Yeah, but what I can't understand also is what's the new investor thinking about here? Like,
Exactly. Or
he's coming to.
maybe Kretinsky is almost thinking the same like Moyes and Newman and some of the other players. Like, man, I cannot wait till this contract is done. I can take over and we can start a new chapter.
Yeah,
Because I mean, that's probably what Kretinsky is thinking. I mean, obviously GSB probably like laid out a nice little pamphlet for him, like, oh, this is why West Ham's so great, yada yada yada. But
yeah,
he's probably got some ears inside, obviously with the Czech lads. He's probably got some ears inside about how incompetent and just disappointing GSB are of owners. And I mean, he's probably sitting there just lurking in the shadows, waiting for his time to come so he can buy the club and
mm,
do it the way he wants. Which at this point, obviously, we've heard some things about him at Prague and how the fan base is like split on him. We've heard good and bad things about him, but surely after how many years of GSB? When did they come in again? 2010,
10. Yeah,
2000.
I think it was. Yeah, January
Surely after
2010.
12 to 13 years of them, he cannot be worse. It's
Yeah,
impossible in my eyes.
it is. But when I look at it, like when I look at Newcastle and forget the Saudi investment for 1 second, Newcastle have got problems. Right, I'm not saying West Ham have got problems, but if you,
Yeah, they do. They're paying 20 million pounds for Chris Wood. They've got problems.
do you know what I mean? And when I look at it, I just think, why is there no one coming in? Like, and this ain't the first time. Listen, if this was a reactionary sort of discussion, and I was saying to you, you know what, I'm talking like this now, and it's the first time ever that this has happened. People could say, you know what, James, you need to calm down a bit. But no striker in a year. Yarmolenko sitting on a gold mine. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, as we always say as West Ham fans, we're always one or two injuries away from a crisis. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. Like, when I look at us now, I just see a team that we're doing so well, but we just need that little.
One or two injuries away from a crisis, one or two signings from glory.
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly,
It's
mate.
always been it.
Exactly. And I look at it, if we sign 3 players, and I'm not saying just any players, like on the top of that, 3 decent players with the squad we've got now, we can do some damage this year, 100%. Like FA Cup, Europa League, to like even in the Prem, like we could get top 4 if we really had the ambition. Like an ambitious owner will go, right, let's go and get these players now because the Manchester United game is massive, and if we beat them, we are right in the mix for
Our
top
owners
4.
are just that stupid where they think it's going to cost them more money to like they're not big return on investment owners.
No,
They're more like it's going to cost me how much? Absolutely not.
yeah,
If they use their brain and they realize, oh, Champions League winnings, oh, Champions League advertisement, we could make a lot of money. No, they
yeah.
don't think
See,
that way because they're morons.
I see that. I see that. And people say, oh, yeah, you know what? If we go in the Champions League, we'll get battered every week. Who in their right mind cares? I I do not care if
The
we went in the
exposure's
Champions.
nice.
Yeah, the exposure's nice. And also the players that we can attract would be even nicer. I don't believe that we will get battered every single week. I've seen FC Sheriff beat Real Madrid in Real Madrid. So I'm sorry, I don't believe that one for a second. And we ain't no mugs. Well, we're a good side, but we need a bit more strength in our team from back to front. But we will see. You're saying those signings for Leeds. I'm going to say
It's
I
hard to
agree,
see
mate.
it.
It's just
We talked last time that we would regroup on Thursday and see if we
yeah.
signed anyone. It's looking very bleak.
it's now Tuesday, and I've said to you like about doing this preview, and I said like we'll talk about some transfers, and there is just nothing, isn't it?
The
It's just
United the United game is on a Sunday as well. Again, correct?
Saturday, 3 o'clock.
I
So
mean,
what we've got really, Lucas, when you sort of weigh it up, is we've got this week's going to be busy for West Ham in general, right? Obviously Norwich, then Leeds on Sunday. After the Leeds game, we've got a whole week to get a player in, right? So even one
it
player in,
scares me.
right, before the Man United game. And after the Man United game, there is no game in the Prem till February the 5th or 8th or something like that, right? These players should be here. I mean, like, and they're not for some crazy reason, but we will see what happens. We will see what happens. What's your final thought, Lucas, before we go on tomorrow's game?
Vlasic is gonna. I'm gonna say Vlasic gets a goal tomorrow. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna set a high bar for him just because I think, like I said in the beginning, I think against clubs like Norwich, we're gonna see some players that need to prove themselves or they want to keep their name on the team sheet. They're gonna play a little better than expected, and I do want people to see Vlasic in the same light that I do. So I think he's gonna put on a. I don't want to say put on a show, but I think he's going to continue a good run of form, and he's going to keep the people saying positive things about him.
Mm.
So
I agree.
4-0 Norwich or West Ham. Sorry,
4-0 Norwich. That's not what everyone wants to hear. Nah, listen. I agree. I think for me, Vlasic. These two games will show me if like what he's all about. Like we need him. Like these are big games now. Like for top four, if we're competing for top four, we have to beat Norwich at home, Leeds at home. I watched him on Sunday. I was impressed, as I said earlier. I thought he looked very, very good. But he's got to do it again. He's got to back it up. And like Norwich will sit there, and we've got to break them down. I think it's going to be tough though tomorrow. I don't know why. People say about Norwich and all that, but West Ham are known for this. Like I've seen it us before. Like
we are shit when we dominate possession. Always have, always will be.
And like, if let's be honest, we thought we'd turn up against Brentford this year. I know Brentford are on a bit of a sticky run at the minute. Norwich under Dean Smith, they're trying their hardest to stay in the league. Obviously, they're not good enough, but we just got to go there and just do a professional performance. I'll quite happily settle for a 2-0 professional performance, job done, move on.
3 points, that's all I want.
That's it. That's all what matters is the 3 points. Antonio, I hope he gets a couple of goals tomorrow because he's another one that if he starts scoring again, we're going to need him and all because he's the only striker at the club at the minute. So like we need him to start banging in some goals. And hopefully by next week, I'm sitting here next Tuesday and I'm going to you, what do you reckon? And if there is still no more signings, then I think I'll give it a miss. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, it's just we say it time and time again. It's every window. It's pretty unacceptable. But I mean, this is West Ham.
I agree. It is West Ham, mate, and it always will be. It's the same old stuff, just a different year. Yep. Anyway, Lucas, I want to thank you for coming on tonight, mate. I really do appreciate your time for coming on to this channel.
Always appreciative when you ask me to come on. Love talking ball.
Yeah, that's right, mate. I want to thank everyone in the chat tonight who's participated in their comments and everything. And if you're new around here, please do subscribe to my channel and like this video. It goes a long way. We've done a video last week. I got up to 21 likes with me and Lucas talking about GSB transfers and everything. It was pretty good, I must admit. Just hit the like button. It goes a long way. It really helps me out. And I'll be back tomorrow night. I'll be doing an afterthought and a match, like player ratings. And if Lucas is about tomorrow, you can jump on and give me your player ratings for tomorrow night, Lucas, if you're about.
Hopefully they're all 8s.
Yeah, so they're all 8s and 9s, mate. I really do mean that. If I'm sitting here tomorrow with just drew with Norwich, then be prepared. But yeah, and yeah, check that out tomorrow on E20 Tone TV. And if you are subscribed to the channel, hit the bell icon. So every time I go live, I've just seen Fresh come out and goes, easy to put this. Says, bollocks, I've missed this. Sorry, we'll catch up. No worries, mate. Just hit the
Turn
bell
on the bell
icon.
and you won't miss it.
Yeah, and you won't miss it, mate, next time. Anyway, take care of yourself, everyone. All the best. And let's just hope for a positive result tomorrow against Norwich because we're on the crest of a wave at the minute. And I want top 4 at this club. I think we deserve it as fans because we've been through absolutely shite over the last sort of 10 years, up and down, different leagues and whatnot. It's time for a bit of success at West Ham. And for me, success is top 4 or winning a trophy. I'll take either.
Amen.
Take care. Bye for now.